We lost our mind. Can we see or are we blind?
I don't know, man. We'll have to ask the devil himself, Kevin Sullivan. Hey, folks, I'm Serious JG.
I'm Bobo the Vulture.
You're all pumped up from 2 old episodes of Ultima Lucha, and we're ready.
Oh no, I mean it was Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground,
the
you're
Ultima
right,
Lucha match was not in there.
Not yet. We were working our way up
It's
there,
still
folks.
coming. I can't believe what that's going to be like.
It's going to be pretty incredible.
Do not post spoilers in the comments, or
You will
well,
be
I guess
killed.
I don't have the power to block you, but
Yeah. But meanwhile, just as the Luchas are working their way towards an exciting Ultima Lucha that happened like last year,
yes.
so Big Boss is working its way towards some kind of exciting conclusion that happened back in 1985. What will it be? Let's find out together.
It might involve brand new Apple Macintoshes.
His Big Boss is stockpiling Apple II joysticks and making sure they're no longer available in the future. To make things tough on Surfall and Speed Graphics.
That is his goal in life.
God, what an asshole.
Yeah.
Seriously. First child soldiers, now stockpiling Apple II joysticks.
I think it's like Yep.
Internet is turned off, and I'll have to explain because we tried to play. The game basically forces you, after you finish that mission with the mosquito, you are forced to go on a fob defense, or you have to set up your fob, which we did last time. We were all worried that, oh man, maybe this is it, maybe we're doomed forever. And then I went and I did research, and there's a mission that then pops up where you can't avoid it. Like, you cannot do any other missions. You have to go do a fob infiltration mission.
Similar to the mission in which you just had, where you had to defeat the mosquito.
You do a practice infiltration mission on your own fob, and after that, your fob is open, and you can attack other people's fobs. They can attack yours. They can steal your resources. They can steal your dudes. They're in your base, killing all your dudes. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm doing an LP together with Bobo. We're showing the story. I don't want to have to devote time offline, well, online rather, but not recording, to making sure I steal as much stuff as is being stolen from me. Like, not interested. So we're having to play the rest of the game with the internet off to avoid having that mission pop up. Now, I can then go turn the internet on and log in and still lets resources pile up, but
you will not be able to use GMP or resources stored in your online inventory.
Yeah.
So,
and the game also does not have an in-game option to switch to off. Like, apparently, even if you do switch to offline mode, people still attack your fob. So you have to just disconnect from the internet.
You just have to. Well, I guess PS4s are probably mostly done on wireless, but you have to disable the internet connection of your PS4.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It might. Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll have to see what happens. It might just decide that it's still going to steal shit from my fob, in which case we'll just be irritated and we'll speed run through the single-player story as fast as possible, and then I'll go back to playing Fallout 4 in my free time.
Yeah. Boss, I know you're just coming off this mission. Sure. There are reports of child soldiers taking over Massa Village after the CFA got wiped out there.
Cold ground.
They've been raiding the surrounding villages, so the people have requested we eliminate them. Check your mission list for the details.
Final Fantasy X-2, for whatever reason, is really freaking loud. So I
noticed that in the recording.
And I actually, well,
yeah, the audio levels of it were very high.
I try to do stuff about it, but
yeah. No, I mean you do a good job.
Oh, here you should.
CJ's good audio editor.
So I actually accepted a bunch of awards that.
Oh no, we had
some guys die.
We got a member of the B team.
We also picked up legendary soldiers. Oh, I guess we get to see this again. Bobo and I saw this off screen, but apparently it's going to show it again.
Got a titanium hog.
Interesting.
There was only a titanium hoss.
Spying Python. I'm not sure if I trust this guy.
Well, I mean,
Rabid Wasp.
He's foaming at the proboscis.
And Rampant Rooster. Well, the names changed then, because last time there was a vulture in there.
Wait, there's Raging Roach. I love guys that have the alliterative nicknames. That's my favorite.
Punching a comet.
And Hulking Hippo.
It's the midnight gecko, shine light on me. And all the silent hot chick continues to stare at us all.
Silent hot chick who doesn't wear clothes at day or night.
Well, we do not have enough resources to develop anything because it does not appear that this stuff was stockpiling. I thought once you're in the online mode, your resources stockpile even if you're not playing, but this does not seem to be the case. So we've maxed out our command platform, base development and support. Rest of these.
It's interesting because it makes it look the way that they're arranged as though they can circle back on each other, and yet they don't seem to actually be like.
No, they don't do that. They don't form like rings at the end of spokes.
Yeah.
So.
Essentially, it's a really terrible airport design.
Right. Now we have a tiny combat team because we made our little PF thing. We can't use this because it's offline mode, which is fine by me.
Well, it's alright by me. The R&D team is in the red for some reason. Not sure what that's about.
I believe that, that just means that there's as many people there as are allowed.
Oh, I didn't realize they were the only ones that are full. Okay.
Yeah, because getting that new fob and moving people onto it,
Staff assigned.
I am here, I am sexy. So yeah, we got the word that,
Thunderbird.
Yeah, that Thunderbird. We got the word that Santa Claus has been stealing from the till. I think it's time for that jolly old elf to fill out as well. No, we got the word that there's some village that former child soldiers are causing trouble, and the locals want us to take care of it. Even though we've never encountered any person on the ground as part of a mission who wasn't either a prisoner for us to free or an enemy soldier.
I mean. Like that strikes me as the kind of thing actually that Hideo Kojima might have been interested in integrating into the game, but like that's a whole extra layer of work of like, all right, so then you could be tranking and Fultoning people who have no combat skills whatsoever, and you're like, ugh, I guess we just got to bring this person back to their house now and apologize.
I think that's where we get into like Konami was like, all right, we're shutting this down.
Yeah.
Unit dispatched.
It's gotten crazy. Mother base. Got someone discharged from sick bay. Excellent news. So basically our next thing, and I guess I'll hand it over to Bobo, because well, it actually is your turn.
Yeah.
Because I finished off the Mosquito. So our next mission, and I never did put them online, but I showed them to Bobo. Just a video that I made of Big Boss driving in a Jeep with 3 sleeping child soldiers in it, and then another one with a big pile of child soldiers who'd all been held up, lying around in the same field because you have to extract them by helicopter. This is the mission those came from. Maybe we'll see some of that craziness, but it's time for the
white. Man, you can't Fulton them?
You can't. Well, you will eventually gain the ability to Fulton child soldiers, but attempt to Fulton one in this mission. It's not like me tricking you. Just do it, and it explains it. But in the meantime, we need to eliminate the militants of Masa Village who have been pillaging nearby settlements. They are said to be all children. Extract their commander, the White Mamba, and the group will fall apart.
Boss, the CFA soldiers deployed to Walla Yamasa have been annihilated.
Good work.
There are no signs of combat, nor any endemic disease. All the adults just disappeared.
Oh, it's little lamplight.
Only children were left. All those kids were ever taught was how to fight.
Mayor McCready actually shows up as a grown man in Fallout 4.
Villages,
I do know that just because you had a FAQ up on your screen earlier.
The contract comes from the government. We're to locate this militia, these kids, and kill them. But I say we do this.
Must be the Reagan-Bush administration.
Fulton all of them.
These raids to stop. We can see to that, but not by killing kids.
I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
And reintegrate them. A DDR operation.
By which I mean a DQ operation.
DDTO.
Once they lose that kid, the one they call White Mamba, the rest of the group will fall apart by itself.
I like the idea that it's like the Reagan-Bush administration are just throwing out a joke evil administration. The government has hired us to murder children. That's a thing.
Do I need a Jeep for this mission?
I think I found it. You know, I may have deployed with a Jeep. You don't have to deploy with a Jeep. I think I deployed with the Jeep because, like I said, I tried to capture all the children.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do that. It is an optional objective, capture a certain number of child soldiers and bring them back to Mother Base, but and you get heroism points. But later in the game, you unlock the ability to fallen children. This is definitely, although I did it kind of for fun and even recorded a little bit of it, which I didn't make public. This is definitely a like side objective that is much easier to do if you come back and play the mission again later. Meanwhile, Bobo's like, just looking at his inventory of vehicles with Dairy Queen logos on them.
Well, yeah, I'm also like, can I just like load kids in the back here? Is that an option?
I don't know. I never tried that. I don't think you can. You certainly have an armored car full of children.
Have an armored personnel carrier that I could.
That is taking a really long time to load for some reason. There's a missile truck.
Do I deploy with a Jeep? I guess I could. I mean, there's...
It's up to you. I mean, if you want to recreate that zaniness, you can, but,
Well, but, like, there's gotta be Jeeps. There's gotta be something going on down there. I also feel like, how much more difficult is it to, like, carry the kids to... Well, I guess...
You have to... See, there's only one helicopter drop point, which is the beginning of the mission. Yeah. So you'd have to take every single kid on foot back to where you start the mission. It would take forever. I think if you use this vehicle,
you will only be able to
put only carry one at a time.
We should look that up later. Yeah, all right. I'll roll out.
I mean, you want me to? I can pull up on the laptop. Can you load children into the back of your poor truck?
I'll look at my equipment in the meantime. I don't imagine I'm going to make any changes other than potentially not carrying this grenade launcher. Oh, it has a... Oh, you got a... Have you done some customization to this grenade launcher here? Because now it has a long barrel conversion for range and a scope.
I don't remember. I might have.
3 times range fighting scope. Alright, well, we were going to use the ZZ pistol. I wonder if... Can you get a scope for the ZZ... for the Woo pistol? That might be a good customization to have if you can do it.
Well, it shoots a little laser beam already. But
oh, it has a laser. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess if it's already got a laser in this mission...
I can't.
Can't learn.
MGS5, can you load people in the back of a truck and it's not bringing up anything like that? What was the name of that truck? The Boar, I think?
Yeah, I think it was the Boar. I mean, there are other trucks, but, like, can you load people... Like, it's an armored personnel carrier. It would make sense you could load personnel onto it. Future unconscious child personnel.
Okay, actually, here's somebody's YouTube video that's...
showing them loading people into a truck.
I'm looking now to see... Well, it's a couple minutes long. I'm trying to see if you actually...
You're skipping ahead. Right, that.
Oh, I didn't mean to have the sound on. Yeah, it looks like you actually can.
Oh, well, dude. Let's get a truck.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
But, it worked. This probably... Yeah, this...
Oh!
What?
Okay. He's parking up next to the edge of, like, a little rocky drop-off point and throwing the kids, and you have to aim them into the back of the truck. You can't manually load them. Like, you can't just press the triangle button and have it load them into the truck. You would have to throw them.
I am afraid I would actually injure the children.
Yeah, no, like, it's kind of amusing. If you guys want to look it up, the video is How to Extract the Children, White Mamba Mission, and Metal Gear The Phantom Pain. The YouTuber is Mike Downey. I don't feel the need to recreate that, though.
Yeah.
For one thing, it appears that he's having some issues with waking the kids, because the kids are tranked, but they're only stunned once they've been pitched into the back, and they hit each other's bodies and kind of potentially
like
wake up.
Shuffle themselves around.
Yeah. But honestly, what you're about to do, I did it off screen. It was kind of funny. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of trips.
I believe that. Although, honestly, with the assistance of Quiet, it ought to be
an easy mission.
Yeah.
And I happen to remember where the White Mamba is, and you don't need to go through. There will definitely be child soldiers guarding areas.
come and hide. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the White Mamba is the name of Eli.
There will definitely be areas that you can access, and you don't need to.
There's something going on over there. Oh, I think that might have been the oil plant.
It's growing oil.
That's right.
It's a little late, but I'm going to go ahead and start a find a 30-minute count up video that we can use.
Be careful down there, boss.
$60-minute man is up there.
Alright, we got some kids right here. I can't scan these kids to find out what their combat abilities are.
No, because you can't press them into your army. The game won't let you do that. So why do you care if the kid's any good at medical if you're not allowed to enswave them? I've spotted children. I'm willing to take them out. This kid wearing a helmet. What a jerk. She's apparently pretty close. You can hear her in the radio and just hanging around next to you. Kids aren't that observant. You can also order quiet to shoot them.
I suppose, but I feel like I was taking advantage of quiet too much last time.
Well, you could get, like, close enough that this... I mean, you've got 20 shots of this thing before you need more ammo.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, these are kids. Remember, don't get too fucked up, alright? Boss, remember what the
Enemy
ghost
presence
said.
detected. The map has been updated.
Of course, you left your Jeep behind. You'll have to go back for it at some point.
Come. Well, they're tiny targets, man. It's difficult.
See, he's not moving. Now's the time. A bee bit my bottom.
That one's a little far away.
And one of them apparently woke up or noticed another one being down. I don't believe you hit him. Oh, you did. Good job. So by the time you get this, now this kid's going to investigate. You might want to hold him up or shoot him or whatever you got to do. Man, they're skinny little things.
Yeah.
I mean, African child soldiers shouldn't be that shocked. Well, I'm gonna just go get your Jeep. Go get your school bus here. Take the kids to school.
That's right.
I would suggest
calling a helicopter.
setting a marker so that you'll remember where to send the kids, or like right there where you are. Yeah, and that way you can just keep driving to the same marker over and over. I would suggest changing the camera angle. So you can see where you're driving.
I guess the part of the issue is here is if there is a control that
Careful, not start running over the kids.
the kids are not in this
Enemy
ditch.
presence detected. The map has been updated.
Now the kids will eventually wake up. So what you're going to need to do is while they're asleep. Oh, fudge! Spotted by children. Not that one.
Oh.
You're gonna need to load the kids while they're asleep, drive them over there, stomp on them and hold them up. so that they will remain in that permanent state of surrender while gathered around the point you're eventually going to. Yes, folks, this is the most freaky mission of the game. Well, I guess I don't have to bother to upload this video that I already made of me doing this now, because we'll be capturing it on camera with crazy commentary. The biggest thing was that I was using copyrighted music, because we were listening to like 80s 80s music while driving the kids around. They had a really tiring day at camp. Quiet's on the move, looking for more child victims. And I really wish you could drop with two Jeeps, so that Quiet could also be driving around 3 children at a time.
I don't know that that Quiet knows how to drive a car.
Well, why would you assume that she can't drive a car? I guess nobody's ever asked her. She pantomimes. I'm an excellent driver.
Yeah, I love these kids. They're so quiet. They're so well behaved. Quiet! They're never making a fuss in the back seat.
I'm a little angry at the one who shot me several times, but... So this is going to be kind of a slow-going mission, folks, but we'll get a lot of heroism points, so that'll be fun. And you can interrogate them, too.
Oh, alright.
Talk. Where are your friends?
I really don't know anything. I've never been to
Arrived
school.
at your destination.
Now, again,
Now, I suppose, in theory, will these kids remain markers? Also, I'm not going to interrogate them just because I have a bunch of kids that are already asleep over there. I want to make sure I get back to them before they wake
Now
up.
be careful as you start piling them up over here. Don't run them over when you're dropping off the next set of kids, of course. And although Quiet could be useful in this mission, I'm now wondering what would have happened if we brought along D-Dog. If the children would have been like really excited about D-Dog.
Marker placed.
So we're like, I'm going to use these kids as a marker. But just in case. Just outside my top 10 test. There's some African peach. Some plants that you drove past there. It may be a good idea to actually wake those kids up, cause them to surrender, and then come back for them. But I think if you're fast, you should be good.
Yeah. I mean, growing kid like this,
It's going to take
a nice long
you
nap.
3 trips to get these.
Yeah, 3 trips in the trunk.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's some plants that you want to grab, because
Yes,
those ones are fairly rare. At least we don't see it. We never come across them in Afghanistan, and we keep going there to do a bunch of side
Why do we
stuff.
never find African
I know,
peach
I'm
in
not,
Afghanistan?
that's what I'm saying. Is since they're only available in one of the
Yes.
2 locations, and we haven't spent a ton of time here. Oh, that kid's got some sweet shades. That might be like
They might be a
Ocelot
special
Iger,
brand that,
yeah.
like, yeah.
I didn't know that Ocelot gear came in children's sizes. Although, you know, if you're coming up with designer sunglasses based on a video game, you probably want to have your children's sizes.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I thought somehow the helicopter had known to start coming back with the kids.
Alright, you guys are all piled up here. Excellent.
So,
Let's take our sleepy kiddos. Come on.
So, folks, how are you? Boy, we're gonna get a lot of heroism points for this thing. Not that I've really figured out what that does. Alright, kids, this is your new village.
What are you doing waking up just because I dropped you?
Well, I'm a little worried now that those 2 that you still have over there might,
Well, that's okay. I mean, the worst thing that will happen is they'll be awake.
yeah,
Either have to knock them out again, or...
It's gonna make it really difficult to, Because now you, see, you can't stack them
All right.
like cordwood, because now you got 2 who are stunned.
Okay.
Now you're going to be forced, because of your beating of children, you will now be forced to beat children some more. Metal Gear Solid 5, folks. Shades of trying to knock soldiers out without angering a D-Dog by accidentally kicking D-Dog. Yeah, they're up.
Okay. I mean, I could just...
No, I mean, yeah.
I could tell Quiet to open fire. That might be the thing to do. She can keep these kids asleep.
I mean, you're fine. It's,
Apparently I can't talk to Quiet at all right now. Kind of surprised that kid hasn't noticed a Jeep wandering around.
The Jeep's not really wandering around, but yes.
Switch the Uzi pistol to make these kids woozy.
Woozy? You a good driver, DJ. Good old-fashioned child beating. Bobo the vulture. Now you have to beat him even more. The beatings will never stop.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, I can't carry him while he's giving
Nope,
up. He
you
has
can't.
to
So you'll
stop.
have to
Alright.
knock him out.
Fine.
I would have got the other one, but whatever. I shouldn't be backseat driving when you've already got a bunch of unconscious child soldiers in the backseat.
Oh, there's the Jeep. I'll off the Jeep for a minute. Now, how long will he stay stunned?
Long enough, probably, for you to get the other kid if you're fast. I don't know whether they... I know this sounds like a weird thing to say, but I don't know if they can wake up when they're in the backseat of the Jeep. It might be kind of like the lockers in Metal Gear Solid 2, where they kind of get locked into an unconsciousness because they don't really have a AI thing they can do when they find themselves in the back seat. No, admittedly, that kid's serious.
You see on those kids. Limited to throws or punches.
What? Seriously?
Quiet was ready to come in and assist, but you were inside this tent, makes it hard. Oh no, there's kids getting up over there. What the hell?
Oh, because that kid raised the alert?
Yes,
they psychically
that's why.
knew.
Oh.
Fire! Quiet! How do I tell
You're
Quiet to
boned,
open
man.
fire? Seriously.
She's too far away. She'll come towards you if you get spotted again. Meanwhile, one of those kids is apparently the marker.
That's fine. I don't even care.
Okay, so you can't basically go into alert mode, or this whole thing isn't going to work.
Yes, I realize one of them is even. Wait, do I have sleeping gas grenades?
I don't know.
I don't either, and I don't even know how to freaking check that.
Press
shit.
the right button.
Yeah, it's too late. You know what? Fuck this.
Now the alert's gone up, but there's no one surrendered, so it doesn't matter. Well, your heroism keeps going down, but... There's something like 25 child soldiers to capture in this mission. So, I'm thinking we might have to, like, have more than one trip in the helicopter.
I'm not even going to take them all the way back. At this point, it's...
They're close enough. It really becomes essential when you get to when you move past this first outpost and are capturing child soldiers.
You have arrived at your destination.
You were my destination, kid. Now these other child soldiers are probably gonna wake up any minute. You get in the jeep. Get in the jeep. The trials and tribulations of trying to capture child soldiers. Before you have it, like I said, folks, we will eventually gain the ability to Fulton child soldiers, and when we do, this mission, this totally optional objective becomes much easier. Bobo doing it now from a gameplay perspective makes no sense. From an LP perspective, gold. Fantastic. If only we could listen to the 80s music without triggering a copyright strike. We could be listening to like well, I don't think this has Flock of Seagulls. I'm thinking now of like Vice City. Ran so far away. Right, note to self, be sure to reverse the jeep first thing.
Now, honestly, if you really aren't going to bother to get those kids closer to the landing zone, you might want to just call the chopper and rescue the first bunch of kids. Because otherwise, you run the risk of having that same thing happen again, even later in the mission, and having even more child soldiers suddenly hop up.
All right.
The white mama
Please select
never
support
gonna
helicopter requested.
Alright, which one of these child soldiers is the farthest away? Nah, it doesn't really matter, does it?
It's pretty much the same. Let's pick them up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, drop them and go get another one.